show you up top first. That's your filler for your PTO. I think that's just for the belt drive. I think, but anyway, that's your filler. 1 quart is what I read. I haven't seen a check plug on that. That's your filler for your transmission. Alright, right here inside your brake rod, there's a plug. A little square plug. Right here, there's a little square plug. You pull that little square plug out. It's right on that brake rod. I lock the brakes down. I lock them down so the rod is out the way. What I read online was 5 in the transmission and 1 in the belt box. That's what I read. But I got plenty of gear oil here. This is what I'm using. And the reason I'm using it so heavy is for my transmission. Put thick, heavy oil in it. When you clutch it in, that thick, heavy oil will act like a gear brake. So it doesn't grind too bad when you're going to double clutch it and wait for the transmission to quit spinning before you put it in gear, because it doesn't have synchronizers. I think synchronizers, what they are, they're just gear brakes. I think that's what I understand about it. I don't have no experience with no synchronizers, but the information I've gathered on them, that's what they are. They serve as like gear brakes. But anyway, the thick oil in it, and when you clutch it in, that'll make the gear stop quicker. But anyway, you fill it up there till it comes out. I'm gonna get under here and I'm gonna show you where I drained them at. It's 2 different places to drain them. You see how ugly this oil is. Alright, on your... So I drained them and flushed them, and I poured diesel fuel and all that in it. I'll apply the diesel fuel one more time. That's on your belt drive. I have never took one of these apart. I don't know what's behind this, except keeping this from oil from going inside the transmission. Evidently, this one doesn't have that problem, because there's pretty much oil in there. I'm gonna put 1 quart back in it. I don't see a plug of anything on the sides to pull out. What I read was 1 quart in that, 5 in the transmission, and 1 in that box. 6 total. But I'm gonna flush that some more with some diesel fuel, and cause it's still kind of ugly, but that's where you drain it. Pull that little square, it's a 5/16 wrench, pull that little square plug out. Then you take your 1/2-inch drive ratchet, or with extension or pull bar, whatever, that's your transmission drain. You fill it up till it runs out that side plug on the side. This, I don't see no plug on this nowhere to fill it up to, because you got to have oil in that, because that turns. Even though you don't use the belt, that still turns. And if something locks up in here, it's gonna lock this up. So you definitely got to keep that oil in that, and it's got to stay working even though you don't use it. But I'm gonna flush it some more, some diesel fuel, get it cleaned up. That's pretty much conclude the transmission oil changing on it. Drain here, fill at the top 1 quart. Drain here, roughly 5 quarts, just till it runs out that plug hole on the side. Nothing to it.